All right, everyone, and welcome back into the cave. This is Montreal Expos Monday, and for those of you who've never been with us, thanks for joining. Excited to be here. Had a rough week last week, couldn't quite get to the Expos episode, so here we are. We're back, and we are going to continue to follow our Montreal Expos here. With the 2000 season. Never mind on the bottom of the screen. This is not episode number 2. This is actually episode number 3. So you know what? Who's to say we don't change that right now, right? We'll go ahead and make that little change here as we're sitting here. But yeah, if you've never been with us on the show before, basically what we do is we are running back late 90s and early 2000s with the Montreal Expos. It's our job as GM, coach, manager, assistant GM, junior GM, and even player to try and get this team into a playoff, possibly a World Series, and hopefully try to keep them in Montreal. So that is the idea, right? If we can't get them to the playoffs before the time that they would actually leave in this world, which I believe was 2006 or 7, then series is over and we shut it down. But I think we're going to get there because we've been making some pretty hot moves here with the team as of late. So once again, we welcome you on into the cave. If you're unfamiliar with the cave, we got 2 shows that we rock and roll with every week. Monday is Montreal Monday. Wednesday is Whaler Wednesday, and coming soon, you'll start to see some. I'll be dropping some videos, some NBA past videos. I've been really getting into 2K26, so hoping to throw some of those out there in the near future. So, okay. So once again, if you are jumping in, checking things out, throw your comments up on the board, a little roll call. Let me know you're here, and we'll kind of get this underway here in about 30 seconds. All right. So once again, welcome back into the cave. This is Montreal Expos Nation, or Montreal Monday, whatever it is you want to call it. This is episode number 3 as we continue on in the 2000 season. If you've been joining us live here over the last couple of months, we started in 1998 with one of the toughest rosters I've ever seen on the game. Moved into the next season, actually started to pick up some momentum, get a couple of wins. We were right on the cusp of getting ourselves into the playoffs, I should say, and just couldn't get it done in the last series of the year. So here we are. We are in the 2000 season, and we have definitely made some serious changes to this roster. Thanks in large part to my assistant GM and my junior GM who are out there watching somewhere, I'm sure at some point, whether you watch it live or you're going to watch it recorded. Mostly to our pitching staff. We've touched up the pitching staff here recently. Haven't done much in the way of adding any bats. So I think that's something that we're going to explore as we make our way through this episode and possibly into the next episode as we get close to, let's say, the trade deadline and we start really kind of scouting players as well, because we got to add some bats to this lineup, or we're not gonna be able to get to the playoffs or get to the World Series with this club. So once again, we welcome you on in to the show. Feel free to throw any comments up on the board if you're watching me on Twitch. If you're watching me on YouTube, I'll see them up on the screen, and I will respond as quickly as I can. So what we're gonna do tonight. We are currently in the end of May. That's what you're seeing up there on the screen. It's kind of behind my welcome sign there. So you know what? Let's go ahead and let's take that welcome sign down. We don't need that right now. So we'll take that down. Okay, so what you're seeing up there on the screen, that is where we currently are. So we're at May 28th, 27, which is actually 2,000. So just minus 27 from the whatever. You know what I'm saying. Minus 27, they get you to 2,000. So that's where we are. We're heading into a series with the Dodgers as we make our way into the month of June. Now, tonight's goal is to get through the month of June in a reasonable amount of time, which is something we have not been able to do on the last couple of episodes because we end up talking trade, we end up talking team, and things don't exactly work out for us. So, once again, feel free to throw any comments on the board as we go through. You got lineup changes, you got pitching ideas. You come up with a player that maybe I can add to the team, or maybe we pick up to put down in the minor leagues to kind of grow over the next couple of years. Remember, this is the 2000 roster. So where there's plenty of guys down there. Last week we found quite a few interesting ones. If you caught the first episode of the 2000 season, we picked up CC in a trade. So he's down in the farm system growing. Lots of options as we continue to move forward. So once again, a quick roll call. If you are on the chat, you're watching me live on YouTube. Feel free to throw anything into the comments. And I'd love to know that you're here watching tonight. So with all that being said, we are going to make our way into the GM's office. We'll take a look at our current roster, our lineups. Then we'll make our way to the ball field, try to get through the month of June. And then, of course, we'll make our way out. But we don't want to jump too far ahead, right? We don't want to think about leaving before we even get started here on the show. Okay, so welcome on into my office here in the high rise as we are going to take a look at the current roster and we'll see what we have going into the episode. We have got a tough schedule coming up. So we'll also take a look at that here inside the office before we make our way out onto the field at Olympic Stadium. So let's go ahead and take a look at the current roster to give you an idea, if you're just joining us for the first time, of what it is we're looking at and who we currently have. So our current pitching staff up here in the bigs, we've got Bartolo Colon, who we picked up in a trade in episode number 2. Thanks to our AGM and our JGM. We have Boomer Wells, who we picked up in the off season. We have Mike Mussina, who we also picked up in the offseason, as well as Javi Vasquez. We've got Trey Moore, and we've got Kenny Rogers, of the famous Kenny Rogers. Not the gambler. No, we've got Kenny Rogers, the pitcher. He was with the Yankees. So in case you couldn't tell, I'm kind of a Yankee fan, right? So we got Boomer, we got Moose, and we got Kenny Rogers. So this club is pretty loaded with ex-Yankee pitchers as they make their way, well, at least in this world, to the end of their career, which is pretty nuts for us. So, okay, let's go ahead and continue on through the roster, right? So our relief pitchers, here's where we made some changes. So we went out and got John Rocker. That was a big deal. So he's going to be kind of our setup man moving forward. We got Greg Swindell, Mike Maddox, who is kind of taking on that kind of mentor. Let's actually put this. We'll sort this so it's Major League. So we got Rocker, Swindell, Maddox, who's going to, like I said, take that kind of mentor role out there in the bullpen. We got Jeff Nelson in the offseason. Scott Shields we picked up in the Rule 5 draft, so we'll see what he can bring to the team. And, of course, Shane Bennett, who's been here for a little while. Let's take a look. So he was with us the last 2 years, mostly coming out of the pen, 65 appearances last year, and he's got 11 so far for the team this year. Out in the bullpen and going to be holding it down. He'll be coming in to close games for us this year. We've got Trevor Hoffman, arguably, debatably, the best closer in baseball history. Yeah, well, being a Yankee fan, you know that I'm going to say Mariano Rivera, but we do know that Trevor is definitely one hell of a pitcher, right? Again, the picture doesn't really do it. Doesn't look much like him. So if you're a Pods fan and you're watching my you watch my episode here, you understand that you do the best you can do, right? You do the best you can do. Okay, our catchers in the system right now. So currently up in the bigs, we've got Pudge Rodriguez and we've got Bob Henley. Bob Henley is the Montreal Masher. I've come up with a couple different nicknames for him. We go ahead and take a look at his stats for the team. The first year in 2025, he was killing it. Dude had 15 dingers, 49 ribbies. It doesn't seem like much, but for that team, it was actually quite a bit. His numbers fell off last year and this year, mainly because we got Pudge and kind of took him out of the lineup. So, but he is definitely very good as our backup. He can also come into pinch run, and he can play other positions on the field, which is important for this club. At first base, we've got Mark Grace. Mark Grace, who had an excellent year last year for this club. He played in 159 games, had 570. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with the speech today. 570 at bats. He had 188 hits. He had 25 home runs and 86 RBIs. Was a huge part of this club. He also batted .330 and had an all-star appearance for us. So Mark Grace is going to be a big part of this club playing first base. At second base, we've got Kilvio Veras and the rookie Jamie Carroll. Kilvio Veras, of course, came over in that same trade that got us Trevor Hoffman. Third base, we've got Charlie Hayes. He came over in free agency. The former Yankee, of course, played for a World Series team in New York, so we're hoping he can bring some of that experience to the club. Shortstop, we've got Orlando Cabrera and Mike Mordecai. If you watched the show much, we had Grudzielanek at second. He also played short. We let go of him in the off season. Kind of moved on from him. So in left field, we had Ricky Henderson. Ricky got hurt towards the end of our second episode. Probably one of the saddest ones for me to see Ricky get hurt. He actually started off big. He even made it to a Montreal Monday short, which appeared on my channel as he had a nice walk-off home run at Olympic Stadium, but I don't think we'll see much of Ricky. So I think his Expos career kind of came to an end. 145 at bats, 20 runs, 4 homers, and 16 RBIs. And yes, I like Ricky so much that I would retire his jersey after just 15 games with the club. So filling in for Ricky, we went from a 41-year-old, a little bit younger, to a 40-year-old. Got ourselves Tim Raines, who's going to be playing left field for most of the episode. He'll be backed up by Sung Hyun Chu, who had a couple appearances last year but didn't play a whole lot. So he is, I think, still considered a rookie. I could be wrong. In center field, of course, we've got Ken Griffey Jr., who I consider part of what I call the paycheck or the bank. Ken Griffey Jr., who we got in free agency at the end of the first season. Didn't have the best year first out with the Expos, but we'll see what we can get out of him here in season number 3 as we try to make our push towards the playoffs. You can take a look at his numbers. Last year, 156 games played, 585 at-bats, 25 home runs, 97 RBIs. So a guy who pretty consistently had 100 or more, didn't quite get there, and only batted .255. So you see his numbers already this year, .312 batting average, on pace for probably 30 home runs. So he's coming along. He's definitely coming along, and hopefully we can get more production out of Ken Griffey Jr. here in the 2000 season. And out in right field, we've got Vladdy Guerrero. And Vladdy has been just consistent for this club. You know, the 288, 287 batting average for the first 2 years. Like to see a little more in the way of hitting out of him. But the reason we keep him in the outfield is because the dude has a cannon for an arm, and he can throw just about anybody out from just about anywhere in the outfield. So now that you have an idea of what the team looks like heading into the episode, let's go ahead and take a look at the current schedule for this episode. So we're going to start out with the Dodgers. Of course, it is at the end of May. So, yeah, we try to play a month at a time. But we ended off the last episode with an 11-2 win at Colorado. And now we're heading back home to Montreal to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. So we'll have them in for 3 games. Then we'll have San Francisco for 3. We head on the road to Boston for 3. Then we take on the National League champions, Cincinnati Reds, who they played us pretty tough on opening week. We jump back to that, and you can see, so our first series was against them, and we went 1-3, so they got us pretty good. But we'll be taking on Cincinnati on the road. Then we go to Shea, because this is 2000, so we'll be at Shea to take on the Mets. Then it's back home for 4 with Florida. Sorry, I can't count. We then have Philly for 3. Back out on the road as we head out west to take on the Dodgers for 3. We have San Diego for 3. Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. And then we will finish up with, actually, we're going to finish up with San Diego, kind of like we did at the end of the last episode. So we've got, let's see how many games we're going to be playing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18. That's 21. We got 24. Okay, we got 27 games in the episode. So, you see some records around. We look at the records. The Padres 21-35. The Phillies currently at 24-33. The Mets at 28-29. Boston is probably one of the stronger teams, as well as the Reds that we're going to face in the episode. But every time I talk about every time I talk about strong teams and weak teams and all that stuff, we end up tanking, right? And we don't play well. So we want to make sure that we really stay focused. And if we have to move players around on the board, we move players around on the board, right? To get the most out of them here in the episode. So, okay, let's go ahead and we're gonna make our way down to the field. We're gonna head in and take on the Dodgers here at home at Olympic Stadium in this one. So once again, if you're just joining, we're about 20 minutes into the episode. We're gonna try to get through that San Diego series here. That San Diego game on June 27th. So if you got any comments, anything comes up, feel free to throw it on the board. I'll be watching here on YouTube as well. So I think, a couple of things to talk about. Obviously, same with Whaler Wednesday. This is a family fun show. We talk sports. Occasionally, yes, I'll slip up and say something I probably shouldn't, but usually that's some sort of cuss word. But anyway, we want to make sure that we keep this as fun and friendly as we can. So no politics, no religion. If you jump in and you join me, we'll throw some sort of topic up on the board. We've talked breakfast cereals, favorite snacks, movies. So I think what we're going to talk today, since we focus on the 90s a lot here on my show, since I was a 90s kid, I think we're going to say favorite 90s TV sitcom. Favorite 90s TV sitcom. So for those of you who do watch, you youngsters, all right, so I might have some newer viewers who are a little younger, but if you don't know what a sitcom is, all of you folks who watch shows on Netflix and you binge watch it, basically a sitcom was something that came on once a week. It was about 26, 27 minutes. It told a little story in a funny way. So, obviously examples you got, Friends was a great sitcom. Seinfeld at some points, and that's debatable too. Seinfeld, Friends, whatever you want to say. But, I did enjoy Seinfeld from time to time, even though it was a little boring. I liked Martin. Martin was great. So just funny stuff like that. So throw your favorite up on the board. Oh, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as well. So anything you want to throw up there, absolutely. If you want to talk about something else, throw that up on the board. Of course, this is a baseball show, so I am open to, of course, baseball chat as well. The Olympics are going on. We've got some great hockey in the Olympics. There's also been some really cool things that happen. I mentioned a few things on the Whaler Wednesday. So anything you want to throw up there on the board. Saw something really interesting today. I think it was a really cool story with a biathlete, and he won, and he won a silver, and he got up on and he basically made a little confession. If you know what I'm talking about, throw that in the comment. Just because I ramble a little bit. So, okay, let's get to it. Okay, so we are getting ready to head into the stadium for game number 1 of the episode. There is our current record. This is what really is important to us. We are in the National League East. This is 2000. Okay, remember, there's no DH in the National League at this point. Pitchers are still hitting. So you'll see it when we go to our lineups. You'll see our pitchers in there trying to hit. So makes it a little bit tougher for us, okay? Again, if you're new to the channel, up on the right side, typically I have hockey scores, NBA scores, anything else going on. I usually have a game of the night. However, it's a pretty quiet night in sports, so I've just got some college basketball games scrolling over there on the right side. So if you're betting or you're looking for your scores, they're going to pop up there on the right side. A couple of live games, actually. Houston and Iowa State are live right now in the second half. Coppin State and SC State. You can see that was a final. I'm not going to roll through all these. Some of them are funny, though. You might hear me mention one as we go. Okay, getting back to the baseball. So we are in second place right now. Okay, we're 2.5 games behind the Atlanta Braves, who are our nemesis here in this world. On our PlayStation. So the Marlins sit 4 games behind us, and they have been on a tear. Now, on paper, not the best team in the world, but they're playing great. The Mets, not so good, 28 and 29. And, of course, the Phillies have started to kind of fall off as well. So we take a look at the complete overall standings, all right? And this is just interesting stuff as you go across the right. If you're familiar with reading the standings, you've got losing streaks, last 10, home, away, all that good stuff. So our current home record is 18 and 10. We play much better at home. Well, actually, it's kind of 50-50, right? I mean, we're 18 and 10 at home. We're 16 and 11 on the road. So we actually play better at night. I will say that. We are 19 and 9 in night games this year. So, kudos to us for playing better at night. I'm not sure if that's actually something that's important. Look at the Marlins record at night. They're 23 and 11. So the Mets, they struggle during the day, but play better at night. I got caught up in that. I don't know why. Okay, National League Central currently looks like this. The Cardinals have a 1-game lead over the Reds. Yeah, that's right. The National Reds are currently a game behind the Cardinals. So the Cardinals, maybe they're building a team and actually trying to win some games. The Colorado Rockies have a 2-game lead, but look at the records. The Giants are 27 and 29. The Dodgers are 24 and 32. The Pods are 21 and 35, and the Diamondbacks are 18 and 38. And of course, we just took one of the best pitchers that the Dodgers have. So that should help us out, right? Wild card looks like this. The Reds and the Expos currently in the wild card lead. So that's something we're gonna want to hold on to because I don't know if the division is something we can get. We're kind of right in the division race right now, but I don't know if we can hold to that because the Braves are good. The Braves are the best team here in the 2000 season. Besides the Yankees, who have been just dominant in both seasons, winning back-to-back championships so far. So the Yankees lead the American League East at 34 and 23. All right, and they have a 2-game lead on the Orioles, 2.5 on the Sox. Out in the Central, the White Sox lead the Royals by 5.5. So the White Sox seem to be kind of running away with that division. We'll keep an eye on that as we move forward. Out west in the American League West, Whew, say that a couple times fast. In the American League West, the Rangers are 30-25 and currently have a 4-game lead over the Brewers. But that division is always up and down so far. So through 2 seasons, that we saw the Mariners come out of that division. We saw the Brewers come out of that division. So anything can happen out west. It's like the wild, wild west. In the American League wild card, it looks kind of like this. The Orioles currently have a game and a half. I'm sorry, they have a game and a half up, and the Red Sox are a game up. The Blue Jays and the Rays are right behind them. So that American League East is kind of dominating, as you can see. Orioles, Sox, Jays, Rays, any one of them can sneak into the wild card here in the 2000 race. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our way to the calendar, and we're going to go ahead and we will, you know what, we're going to play the first game. So let's go ahead and, we'll play the first game. We'll manage it. So, of course, we're going to be missing Ricky, right? Ricky was I say a big part of the team. He only played in so many games. But we're going to miss Ricky for sure. It broke my heart when they said that Ricky was out and basically for the season. So, and we didn't spend a whole lot of money on Ricky, but even still kind of tough loss for us. Okay. Once again, if you're joining right now, we're getting ready to get started here. First game of the episode, we will be taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Throw any sort of comments on the screen for me. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, whatever it is, feel free to throw any comments up on the screen. And I'd be happy to try to answer what I can. So we've got Bartolo Colon on the hill here in the first game of the episode. And that lineup kind of mixed up a little bit. You can see Mark Grace is cold right now. Ken Griffey is cold. So hopefully we can get something out of them. Just for that, I'm going to move Vlad into that slot. He'll bat fourth tonight. We'll see if maybe if that kind of gets the fire started there. Oh, my bad. Okay. There we go. So we've got Bartolo Colon on the hill facing his former team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he gives up a triple on the very first pitch of the episode. Wow. Okay, and then a single. So 1 run already for the Dodgers. Gonzalez fielder's choice. Nilsson singles. Fulmer. That's Brad Fulmer, who we traded to the Dodgers. And he reaches on an error. So there's 1 out. Okay, Bartolo's struggling in the top of the first, and a fielder's choice, and he gets out of that. Wow, he gets out of that mess. So it's a 1-0 Dodger lead. Let's see if these Expos can get something going. Veras is going to ground out. Cabrera reaches on a single. He gets a single. Grace flies out. Guerrero grounds out. Juan Castro to lead off for the Dodgers. He grounds out. Nomo lines out, and Guerrero singles again. So he's 2 for 2. Ochoa is going to single. He's 2 for 2. Luis Gonzalez grounds out. Ken Griffey Jr., who was cold heading into this one, he's going to lead off. He's batting .312 with 12 homers, and he walks. So let's go ahead and try to steal second. He steals second. Sung Hyun Chu, who's now in the lineup with Ricky. Oh, he's Ricky's replacement. So we've got Raines on the bench. Sung Hyun is going to bunt him over to third. Good job, Sung Hyun. Here's Charlie Hayes. He grounds out. Pudge is going to single, and Griffey gets stuck on third. So it's a 1-0 game. We need to move him to home plate, and he's stuck on third. And there's a single. So Bartolo Colon comes up clutch at the plate, ties this one up. Kilvio grounds out. So we're through 2. It's 1-1. Bartolo's still on the hill. He got into trouble in the first inning, but he seems to be hanging in there. Dave Nilsson to lead off for the Dodgers. He grounds out. Fulmer flies out. Adrian Beltre strikes out. Okay, so Hideo Nomo back on the mound. Orlando to lead off. He pops out. Mark Grace flies out. Vladdy gets hit by a pitch, and here comes Ken Griffey Jr. He walked last time up, then stole a base, and was able to score. And we've got a Todd Hollinsworth. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Somebody grounded out. Okay, Todd Hollinsworth hits a home run. So, geez. Juan Castro hits a solo home run. Bartolo, what are you doing? Nomo. If Nomo had hit a home run, I think I would have just turned this whole thing off and been done for the night. I think so. That would have been really, really quite the bummer if he did that. Okay, Wilton Guerrero is going to hit into a fielder's choice. Alex Ochoa. I don't know what happened there. We get a double play. I hit the button and nothing happened. Sung-Hyun Chu. So we are through 3.5 innings. We're down 3-1. Kurt Schilling is now on the mound for the Dodgers. I'm not really sure what happened there. Something must have happened with Nomo. Maybe he got hurt. And Kurt Schilling strikes out Chu. Charlie Hayes hits a jack, so it's 3-2. Ground out Rodriguez. Strikeout. Okay, Gonzalez to lead off. Bartolo's going to stay out there. He's still got some juice. He's only given up 3 runs and 7 hits. Ground out. Nilsson. Doubles. Fulmer. Fly out. Beltre. Ground out. Okay, so Kurt Schilling was going to remain on the hill here. He walks Veras. We're going to use Cabrera to bunt him over. Grace is going to walk. Vladdy's going to walk, so the bases are juiced for Ken Griffey Jr. against Kurt Schilling. We're going to go in and check this out. Let's go see what happens with this one, right? I mean, no better time to go check out some baseball than when we're actually up.
Welcome if you're just joining us.
But we got to do this, right? Okay, Ken Griffey Jr. now. Bases loaded. Kurt Schilling on the hill. 3-2. Kurt throws him a splitter. Catcher absolutely loves it. So Griffey's only batting 192 right now with runners in scoring position here for the Expos. But he's got a chance to break things open. And he fouls it off. So we'll stay here until the end of the inning. Oh, and he gets Griffey Jr. So Griffey Jr. has been in quite the slump. He has been in quite the slump for the Expos. Okay, there you see that's low. He swings at it, completely misses it. Okay, so here we go. Sung-Hyun Chu. Can you be the hero? Can you be the hero, Sung-Hyun? So he's 0 for 1. He did have that sacrifice bunt earlier in the game. We used him to move Griffey over after he walked. Sung-Hyun. Okay, so 0-2. Kurt Schilling. I keep checking out the sock. I'm looking for the sock. If you know, you know, right? If you're a baseball fan, you know what I'm talking about. Kurt deals on the ground. Beltre. Oh, okay. So that's going to do it. Okay. So nothing happening there. And let's go ahead back to the old quick manage screen. And so Ken Griffey Jr. gets to the plate with the bases loaded and gets nothing done. He gets nothing done. So, okay, here we go. Bartolo's going to stay out on the hill. It's a 3-2 game, so we got something going here. And Hollinsworth's going to ground out. Castro's going to ground out. Schilling is coming out. Scott Rowland is coming off the bench for the Dodgers. In what world is Scott Rowland coming off the bench for the Dodgers? Well, our world, I guess. And he strikes out. So here we go. We've got Hayes, Rodriguez, and Colon. But Colon's going to come out. He's going to have to come out. Hayes, well, it depends. If we get a runner on base, he comes out. Hayes grounds out. Pudge grounds out. Colon strikes out. Okay, so we're going to leave Colon in there to pitch the top of the 7th. Wilton Guerrero leads off with a strikeout. Ochoa reaches on an error. We'll try to pick him off. Can't get him. Okay, so Luis Gonzalez is at the plate, and we strike him out. Nilsson caught. Oh, we caught him stealing. Well, we caught somebody stealing. I don't know who it was. If you're paying attention, great. If you saw that, great. Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay, so Antonio Osuna now is on the hill for the Dodgers. And Kilvio's going to lead off, and he grounds out. Orlando flies out. Mark Grace. Then they go to McElroy. So they're going to bring Chuck McElroy in to face Mark Grace, and he gets on the ground out. Bartolo's still out there. He's got that one-run lead against Dave Nilsson, who's already beat him twice tonight. He strikes him out. Brad Fulmer, former Spo, ground out. Beltre, ground out. So Bartolo in the dugout saying, I don't want to come out of this game, okay? I did give up 3 runs, but I don't want to come out of this game. Vladdy with a chance to start something. Grounds out. Griffey walks. Okay, so we got Griffey on first. Sung Hyun at the plate. And they go to Julius Goodwin out of the pen. Strikeout. Charlie Hayes strikes out. Okay, so we got Bartolo Colon still out on the hill. He still has some juice left in him. Hollinsworth is at the plate. I don't know. So we got Hollinsworth, Castro, and Goodwin. Do we leave Bartolo Colon in the game? That is the question right now for this club. Do we leave Bartolo Colon in the game? And I'm going to say, yeah. We're going to let him pitch to Hollinsworth. He strikes him out. We're going to let him pitch to Juan Castro. And he grounds out. So Goodwin's going to come out. Definitely. So, oh, wait a minute. Okay, there he goes. Paul Konerko. What is going on with the freaking Dodgers? They got Scott Rowland and Paul Konerko on the bench. They got Luis Gonzalez playing left field. This team is pretty stacked, and they're just not winning. Konerko, and they brought John Rocker in. When did that happen? And there's a single. Guerrero, and now Swindell comes in. Okay, so Paul Konerko's not going to be out there. Jeff Brantley comes in to try to close things out for the Dodgers. I have no idea when that shit went down. I mean, when I should be taking Bartolo out, right? You would think. Pudge is going to lead off. He grounds out. Yeah, we need to hit. So we're going to go to Tim Raines to pinch hit. The 40-year-old. I'm so used to saying 41 with Ricky. The 40-year-old singles to lead off. He's still got some wheels. Do we try to steal? Oh, he steals second base, so Tim Raines is on second. Kilvio's at the plate. One swing of the bat ties this up. Let's go in to the show. Okay, so Kilvio Veras comes to the plate. We have 40-year-old Tim Raines over on second base. He got on with the single, then he stole second. Trying to get something done here for the Spos in game 1 of the episode. Oh, and he misses with that one, so it's 2-1. So Bartolo pitched a pretty good game, right? He gave up 3 down for the next 7 innings or so. Kilvio watches ball 3. So Cabrera, it looks like. Or they're just setting up the double play, right? Probably trying to set up the double play here. Okay, so he throws him the splitter down. It's 3. I don't know about you, but that looked pretty close to me. Kilvio doesn't seem too happy with it. I'm going to guess they're going to throw him inside. They're going to go inside. Oh, he throws him outside, and Kilvio goes for it. So 2 outs. And it's going to be our second batter in the lineup, right? Cabrera, yeah. So Cabrera's going to come up now. We still have some speed on second. Okay, Timmy Raines is on second base. Let's see if he can. Let's see if Cabrera can do something to tie this puppy up. Nope. So you saw earlier in the game, Griffey had a chance to get something done. He didn't get shit done. All right. And then I think, whoever was up after him didn't do anything either. So we had the bases juiced at one point and couldn't get anything done. And, oh, come on, dude. Okay. Look at that beautiful stadium. All right, so 0-2, 2 outs. Raines on second. And, oh, man. Okay. So the Dodgers, the Dodgers take us down here. The Dodgers take us down here. That's okay. That's okay. So Bartolo gets the loss in this one, as he should, right? 8 2/3, a hit, 8 hits, 6 strikeouts. So he didn't really have anything going. So Bartolo Colon got injured. So a torn labrum during today's game, and it appears he will be out for 6 months. What would I like to do? Jump. I'd like to jump, folks. We lost Ricky. We just traded for Bartolo Colon. And now he's out. Now I know that my AGM and my JGM are not watching tonight. Believe they might be on a little break. Sent them on a break. But, guys, this is tough. This is a tough one. Okay, Bartolo Colon was going to be our piece for the year, and he's out. So, yeah, we have no choice. We got to put him on the 60. John Rocker injured his pectoral, and he's out 2 to 3 months. So both of the guys we traded for are out. Oh, my God. This game, just exploded on us. Okay, time to go. Time to go make some moves. We got to make some moves. The rotation is now this. Oh, God. So, Boomer, you're going to go back to the top. Kenny Rogers is going to take our last spot in the rotation. So, we'll go lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty. We need to go down to the minors and grab ourselves a bullpen arm because that's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. Let's go to the roster. Let's go to relief pitchers. We'll sort out here. Let's see who we have on the 40-man roster that we can bring up. That might be in AAA. Oh, Lord. Mike Thurman. He's been hot. He could come in. He can come up and pitch out of the pen. Ted Lilly. Still, I think we want to make sure he's a 60 before we bring him up. I don't want to bring him up too soon. I really don't. No. So yeah, we're gonna go with Mike Thurman. Mike Thurman, welcome back up to the big club. You, my friend, are going to go into you won't be in a rotation, but he'll be a long reliever for sure. So we have a long reliever. We have all righties coming out of the pen except for Greg Swindell. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have all righties coming out of the pen. That's nuts. I didn't even realize that. So we lost John Rocker. That was a bummer and a half. We lose him for 2 months. We lose Bartolo for 3 months. Oh no, I'm sorry, 6 months. He's basically out for the season. So Bartolo Colon pitches 3 games for us and then is out for the season. So let's go ahead and take a look at free agency. See if we have anybody that's a relief pitcher that we might be able to get something out of. How about Paul Quantrill? Russ Springer? Lance Painter, Doug Jones, Jesse Orosco. He's a lefty. He would be a nice lefty to bring out of the pen for situations, right? Yeah, we don't. There's not much to choose from. How about starters? Any starters out there that we could put out there? Righty. Chris Haney is a lefty, deep potential. How about J.P. Sparbori? A potential, 56, 38 years old. Bummer. Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens is 37 on this game, and he's sitting out there at 55 overall. Chris Hammond. Well, we talked about Chris Hammond, right? We did talk about Chris Hammond. We could go for Chris Hammond. We need a lefty. So let's see here. Jack McDowell. Look at all these guys they're toast, man. Nobody's good. Okay, let's go to the old trade finder. We got to do something. But this happens every time. It's like beginning of the episode, and we have to go to the trade finder and try to make a deal. So let's see who's doing what here. We got any relief pitchers? Amari Telemaco. He's a righty. Jay Powell, he's a righty. Anybody offering anybody? How about Gerald Williams? He'd be a good outfielder. Be a good outfielder for that spot that Ricky left open, right? He'd probably be a good bat off the bench, too. Antonio Osuna, who we just saw. He's a righty, though. I'm looking for a lefty. Julian Tavares, he's a righty. I didn't go through everybody. Rocky Coppinger, righty. Oh, here we go. Travis Miller. The Twins, Travis Miller. He's a deep potential, 27 years old. We're going to pass on that. Shigetoshi Hasagawa. That's a real guy, right? C potential, he's a righty. Trim Crabtree. Paul Bird. We got nothing, man. We got nothing. All right, so we got to go to the old player search then. We got to look, man. That just killed me. One game into the episode, we lose two key pitchers that we literally just signed. I cannot believe it. So we're going to go. We need a relief pitcher. He needs to be a left-hander. And let's see what we got here. See if anyone will be interested. Alexis Valbuena. Yeah, not really a big innings kind of guy. So we lost John Rocker, so we're really looking for a setup man, right? We had Terry Mulholland last year. He's pitching for the Cubbies, right? He was here last year. He appeared in 82 games. Didn't pitch too bad. Mikey Gallo. Nope, not interested in Mike Gallo. John Rocker, yeah, he's injured right now. Torn pectoral, 2 to 3 months. How about John Williams? Nope. Alan Embry. 30 years old, 64 overall, and climbing. 26 stamina. Can he be our setup man? Yeah, let's see what they want. Let's see what they want for Alan Embry. Okay, so they would want Pudge Rodriguez. Whatever, dude. Really? That's what you want? You want us to give you Pudge Rodriguez? Or Ted Lilly? I can give up Ted Lilly, but offer a relief pitcher. Ramon Irizarry. Let's see what Ramon Irizarry is. Ramon is a B potential right-handed shortstop. Well, I got a shortstop for a little while. He's not bad. He's batting 230, 18 home runs. Let's see what else they got on here. Sung Hyun Chu. So I could let Sung Hyun go, have Tim play, and then try to trade for Gerald Williams and just make this trade right now. Right? It's a C for a C. Of course, Embry's 30. Got to hope that nothing happens to the club. I don't know. That's a tough one. Mike Thurman. Hey, we'll trade you, Mike Thurman. I'll give up Mike Thurman. Right? We were looking to get Trevor Hoffman. Nope. No, it's not going to happen. Mike Thurman for Alan Embry. Yeah, we'll take it. Okay, so Mike Thurman, goodbye. Alan Embry, welcome to the ball club. Let's go up here to the pitching rotation. Actually, I think we need to bring him to the 40-man roster. So, oh no, he's already here. He's already here. That's solid. That's what we need, right? Okay, so let's go back here to the rotation. And Alan Embry, you're going to be my setup. Yes, you are. Thank you very much. Greg Swindell, I don't know why you keep going there. You're going to go here. So you're going to be my lefty long relief. Alan Embry's going to be my lefty setup man. And now we're good. Now we seem pretty good. The only thing is we got to fill that spot that we left with in left field. No, we didn't trade him. No, we didn't trade him. Let's also take a look here at the roster. So over here on the left-hand side, I'm sorry, on the right-hand side. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see that we are, well, it looks like we're kind of deficient in closing pitchers. And then right field, we are also a little low. So we're good in the bigs. We have 3 left fielders, 2 center fielders, 1 right fielder. Everything's kosher there. Looks like really we need a right fielder and a closer. So in double A, we've got 1-1-1. Yeah, triple A, we're missing a right fielder. So we need a right fielder down in triple A. We also need a first baseman. Yeah, see, I got to pay attention to that stuff. So let's go to, where do we have? We need to sign a right fielder to play in triple A. Yeah, you know what? I'll do that off screen. We don't have to do that right now. So, okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at transactions completed. So tonight, just to give you a full force what happened tonight so far. If you're just jumping into the episode, welcome in. If you're not watching the live and you're watching the recorded, thanks for hanging in through all that. We had a bit of a urgent matter to deal with here in the office. So we lost John Rocker and Bartolo Colon in the first game of the episode against the Dodgers, 2 guys we traded for in the last episode. Had to go and replace John Rocker. We got Alan Embry in a trade with the Orioles. So we sent Mike Thurman, who was down in AAA, to Baltimore for Alan Embry. So he's going to be setting up Trevor Hoffman. And we put Kenny Rogers into the rotation. So he'll be down at the bottom of the rotation. Now we have 3 lefties, 2 righties as we make our way through the rest of the episode. Hopefully we can get something done here after that. We only lost 3-2. but it feels like we lost bigger than that, right? It feels like we lost way bigger than that. Okay, game 2 of the episode. Mike Messina on the hill taking on Dustin Hermanson, who we gave the Dodgers for Bartolo Colon. Let's go ahead and view that one. We're gonna do the same thing. Okay, so we're gonna quick manage, and hopefully we can get something. I mean, get something going. I just feel so bummed out. I feel like turning off the system and not even playing. Maybe if I turn it off and turn it back on, things will get better. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe that would happen. I don't know if that's an actual thing. I've heard it on streams before, but I don't know if that's actually true. So, I was going. I was trying to bring up my phone. I got this little cool phone and I put in my apps. So I could press the button and the phone comes up on the screen. I was going to call to the bullpen, and then I realized that he was out. So, okay, so Mike Messina is going to be on the hill. We're going to go with the same cold-ass lineup that we've had going, and let's see if they can't heat up here. Mike Messina gets Guerrero to ground out. Ochoa is going to single. We try to pick him off. Gonzalez hits into a double play. Thank you, Gonzalez. Veras grounds out. Orlando Cabrera is going to ground out, and Mark Grace will walk. So we got a runner on first for Ken Griffey Jr., who's been cold as ice, and he strikes out. Dave Nilsson at the plate, and he's going to ground out. Fulmer grounds out. Beltre grounds out. So we're through 1.5 innings. Hermanson, who we traded for, is up on the hill, and against Vladdy Guerrero. And Vladdy's going to single. Chu's going to hit into a fielder's choice. Charlie Hayes strikes out, and Rodriguez grounds out. Okay, so 2 innings down. If you are just joining, feel free to throw a comment up on the board. Love to know you're watching. We're through 2 here in game 2 of the episode. Had quite the disaster losing Bartolo Colon and John Rocker, who we picked up in trades in the last episode. Had to make some roster changes, and now we're going, hopefully going forward with some games. Hollinsworth singles. Castro strikes out. Dustin Hermanson himself sack bunts. And so it's a 0-0 game. Hermanson gets Mike Messina, gets Kilvio, gets Orlando. Ochoa to the plate, and he grounds out. Gonzalez strikes out. Nilsson grounds out. Mark Grace at the plate against Dustin Hermanson. He's going to single. Can Ken Griffey Jr. get off the schneid? He strikes out. Vladdy flies out. Sung-Hyun Chu reaches on an error. So Charlie Hayes now with a chance to get something done. Runners on first and second, and he walks. So bases juiced for Pudge. Pudge hits into a fielder's choice. Brad Fulmer coming to the plate. Another part of that Bartolo Colon deal, and he flies out. Beltre's going to strike out. Todd Hollinsworth strikes out. So Mike Messina has got a 2-hit gem going right now, and he grounds out. Kilvio reaches on an error, so we got a runner on first. We're going to steal, and he gets caught because, of course, he does. Cabrera is going to ground out. Okay, Juan Castro ground out. Hermanson singles. Oh, so Expo Monday, because I try to do it on Expo Monday. Sorry, yeah, just tuning in from out of town. Yeah, so I try to do it on Mondays, but I've had some technical issues here the last couple of weeks, so I'm just rolling with it, dude. Just rolling with it. Feel free. If you're just joining, which it looks like I got a couple of viewers now, bad news. Bad news for the club. Bartolo Colon, 6-month DL. All right, first game of the episode. 2 pitches later, John Rocker, 2-month DL. The club's falling apart. The club is falling apart. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. I had to make a trade, went out and got Alan Embry, put him in the bullpen, and Mike Messina is just going to start pitching every game for us because he's pitching pretty good here. And we get the double play. If you're watching on the East Coast, that's late. What you doing up so late, man? Okay, Mark Grace strikeout. Griffey Jr. hits a solo jack, and he's finally, hopefully, starting to heat up. Guerrero's going to pop out. Sung-Hyun Chu strikes out. Okay, so it's a 1-0 game. Mike Messina finally gets a little help from Ken Griffey Jr. Ground out Ochoa. Ground out Gonzalez. Nilsson with the single. Let's pick him off.
He's safe.
Nope, can't get him. Brad Fulmer, the former Expo, flies out. Okay, Charlie Hayes at the plate.
Take your base.
He walks. Pudge, fielder's choice. Mike Messina, yeah, he's got to come out. Sorry, Mike, you got to come out. Bobby Hens coming in to pinch hit. And there's a double play. Okay, so we have got a 1-run lead. And let's look who's going to come in to pitch. Just traded for him, and here comes Alan Embry to pitch. He gets the ground out. An error.
He's safe.
He tried to pick off Hollingsworth, and he gets the double play. So Alan Embry does his job. Thank you very much. John Rocker sitting there watching from his house. Hermanson's pitching pretty damn good. Am I regretting the trade that sent Dustin Hermanson to the frickin' Dodgers? And they took him out right when I said that. Maybe I should do that all the time. Julius Goodwin comes in to pitch, and Veras grounds out. Cabrera grounds out, and Grace flies out. Okay, Alan Embry. Yeah, you're not staying in there. It's time to bring in. That's right. Trevor Hoffman's coming in the game. Scott Rowland coming up to pinch hit. Okay, so this is the second game now with the Dodgers in the episode. And Scott Rowland is on the freaking Dodgers in this universe. I don't know how that shit happens, but Scott Rowland is going to pinch hit. So anyway, I can talk about it all night. Hoffman strikes him out. Thank you, Trevor. Guerrero strikes out. One more, Trevor. One more.
Ball 4. Take your base.
And he freaking walks him. Luis Gonzalez. One more. And he gets the ground out. So Trevor gets the save. Mike Messina goes 7 strong, gives up 4 hits, and gets 4 Ks in the game. And we had just a 1 home run from Ken Griffey Jr. To pull that one out. So we're heading into game 3 of the episode. That's Trey Moore on the hill. 3-2 on the season, 57 innings. 3.47 ERA. Ishmael Valdez for the Dodgers. And no, I don't want to do that. And Trey Moore, oh my God, I have to take a breath. Trey Moore sustained an injury during today's game. He's going to be out for a few days. I'm sorry, Trey, but if it's just a couple of days, you got to stay active because our pitching staff is falling apart. But we get the win, right? We get the win. Eric Gagne came out of the bullpen to get the win. Congratulations to Eric Gagne making an appearance here for the Spos. Javi Vasquez pitching the first game against the Giants, and he takes Trevor took the loss, so he kind of blew it. Let's see if we can see the box score. See what happened here in this one. Oh, you should be able to see the actual. I thought it showed you like the whole like rundown. Can you give me the rundown? What's a rundown? If you know, you know. Okay, so Kenny Rogers. That's right. Kenny I can't bring up CC Sabathia. Now, that's one hell of a good idea, but the dude's like he's like a 47. So I can't bring up CC quite yet. Going to have to keep him down in the system, I think, for the rest of the season. Or we'll get to the All-Star break and take a look, see if maybe he's pitching at all. But, yeah, the team is kind of royally screwed right now. So started out good, and hopefully we can continue a little bit. Okay, so Kenny Rogers, the roaster, is out there, and the roaster. No, we got to sim it. We're going to sim through the day, and we get the win. Scott Shields, our Rule 5 draftee, is going to get the win. 3-2 in that one. and we win again. So Trey Moore, he's feeling better. Okay, good. Good. We're going to put him back in. So we are now heading to Boston. Boston on the season. Let's go ahead and check where they are. Boston is 3.5 games behind the Yankees, and their record is 35-27. So this is one hell of a club, the Boston Red Sox. Mike Moose is going to be on the hill here for Friday Night Baseball against Carl Pavano. And if you remember Carl Pavano from season number 1, yes, we actually traded Carl Pavano for Troy O'Leary. Right. Then we let Troy O'Leary go. Ricky Henderson signed for his spot, and then Ricky fell apart. So let's see if Carl Pavano beats the Expos. And no, he doesn't. Mike Mussina gets another win. Look at Mike Mussina's win-loss record. 9-2. 9-2. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mike Mussina and see what he's done recently. Because I think his, I don't care about that. I think his numbers have been great. The dude is on fire. Let's see his recent games. So he has won 4 in a row. He beat Pittsburgh, Colorado, the Dodgers, and Boston. And then in his last 10 games, he's got a 1.49 ERA, and he struck out 57. So Mike Mussina finally starting to catch freaking fire for the club. Finally. Okay, let's get back to it. Game number 2, Trey Moore coming off that neck sprain. He'll be taking on Tim Wakefield, RIP. Tim Wakefield, one of the best knuckleballers in history. If you know a knuckleballer, throw it in the comment. One of my favorites was a guy named Charlie Huff. Swear to God, the guy looked like he was 56 when I was a little kid. But he had a knuckleball. I think Necro had a knuckleball too. But Tim Wakefield, he would throw that thing and it just looked like it wasn't even moving. Sick. It was sick. And he'll probably beat us because we can't hit the knuckleball. I don't know too many people that can. And, okay, so, yes, we lose to the Boston Red Sox. We're heading into Sunday Night Baseball, taking on the Sox. Let's go ahead and we're going to play that one, right? Sure we are. Got to. Oh. Yeah, come on, Mike. In Boston, Fenway Park, to take on the Red Sox. And Javi Vasquez, he's 6-2 with a 2.92 ERA. He's going to be on the hill for the Spos in this one. Kilvio will lead off, followed by Orlando Cabrera, Mark Grace. The paycheck, Ken Griffey Jr., Vlad Guerrero will be 4-5. Hayes will bat 6th. Sung Hyun Chu, Mike Mordecai, and Bob Henley will round out the lineup. I don't like Mike Mordecai at DH, so I am going to put Pudge at DH. And yeah, that's what we're going to go with. Okay? Whether you like it or not, we're going with Pudge at DH. Okay. Beautiful. And I just goofed that up because, of course, I did. Yeah, Pudge is cold, but you know what? We're going to give him a chance anyway. Okay, Kilvio to lead off. Ground out. Cabrera. Fly out. Mark Grace. Grounds out. Tommy Tran. Strikes out. Fernando Vina. Solo jack. David Justice. Ground out. Mo Vaughn. Strikes out. Okay, so they get a 1-0 lead early. Griffey strikes out. Guerrero pops out. Charlie Hayes singles. Sung Hyun Chu flies out. Noma Garcia Para is going to fly out. Travis strikes out. Martinez singles. Tom Lampkin singles. So they got first and third with Darren Bragg coming to the plate, and he grounds out. So a 1-0 game. Bruce Chen, my GM, Bruce Chen, that's their guy. Look at his numbers though. 5.37, 1.48 WHIP. So he's struggling. Pudge in a DH spot, he grounds out. Bobby Hens finally getting some swings. He strikes out, and that's why he doesn't get many swings. We kind of keep him on the roster now because he's just a fan favorite in Montreal. You know, he comes out and he waves his little hat, and everybody digs him. He's Bobby Hens. Veras walks. Cabrera is going 2 strikeout. Twommy Tran at the plate. Pops out.
Take your base, ball 4.
I always struggle with that guy's name, and it's 4 letters. I almost called him Vanina. Vina walks. My boy David Justice is going to pop out. Mo Vaughn hits a 2-run jack, and it's 3-0. And Javi's struggling. He's struggling here in Boston. Shocker.
3.
Mark Grace strikes
3.
out. Ken Griffey strikes out.
3.
Bruce freaking Chen, man. You know what? Maybe we should have gone out and got Bruce freaking Chen instead of Bartolo Colon. Maybe we should have. Maybe we should have. Throw a like up there if you get it. Yeah, if you get it. Travis Fryman grounds out. Martinez singles. Lampkin pops out. Bragg singles. Tran grounds out. So it's 3-0. We've got one stinking freaking hit here on Sunday Night Baseball. All right, we put the Expos on TV and they can get nothing done. Hayes grounds out. Chu flies out. Rodriguez grounds out. Vina singles. He's 2 for 2.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Justice walks.
3.
Vaughn strikes out. Garcia Parra singles. So the bases are now loaded. Javi's running out of juice. Fryman at the plate. Double play. Give me a double play. He hits into a fielder's choice, so close enough. Then a single to drive in 2.
He's safe.
Tom Lampkin ends the inning. So it's 5-0. Okay. Bruce Chen is just I don't know, weaving a blanket, pitching a perfect one. I don't know, masterful. It's weaving a blanket. I don't even know if that's a real thing. I just made that shit up. Bobby Hens, what a chance. Grounds out. Veras grounds out. Cabrera strikes. Okay. Somebody. Darren Bragg grounds out. Tran singles. Vina walks. So we got first and second. We got to take him out. I left him in there way too long. Greg Swindell, no. Let's see what they got. They got left, right. Go with Swindell. Swindell gets the fly out.
Take your base, ball
He
4.
walks frickin' Mo Vaughn. And then fielder's choice. Okay, so we need 5 runs now. We're going to need 5 runs here.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Yeah, you can count. I can count. You can count. Okay, we need 5 freaking runs here to get back into this. 3 runs would get us back into it here in the inning. Mark Grace leads off, and he walked. Okay, Griffey has been a waste the last couple of games. He flies out. Vladdy flies out. Charlie, anything.
3.
He strikes out. Swindell, do we keep him out there? Yeah, I think we do because we got righty, left, and he is a left-handed pitcher, so he gets Fryman, he gets Martinez, he gets Lampkin. So good job from Swindell. John Wasden is coming in to pitch. Sung Hyun Chu is at the plate. We need something. We need some life here. Timmy Raines, come off the bench and give us something. In 50 at-bats, he's batting .340. He's got 7 RBIs and 4 stolen bases. So he's been good coming off the bench. Let's see if he can give us something. He grounds out. Pudge grounds out. Henley strikes out. We have 1 hit in this game. Darren Bragg grounds out. Tommy Tran
3.
strikes out. Vina
That hit him.
gets
First
hit.
base.
Dude, you were almost out of the inning. What are you doing? Then he gives up a single to Justice. If Vaughn hits a homer, no, he grounds out. Okay, so we go to the top of the 9th. We're down 5. We need a miracle. The Red Sox pitching staff has allowed 1 hit. We have 1 hit in this game.
Ball 4. Take your base.
We get a walk. We get some life. Cabrera,
Take your base. Ball 4.
he walks. We have more life. Mark Grace reaches on an error, and the bases are loaded for the coldest bat in the lineup. The coldest bat in the lineup. Dude, just get on base and keep the inning alive. Just get on base and get something going. Do not strike out. Rick Aguilera is coming out of the bullpen. Ken Griffey Jr. is at the plate. And he hits into a freaking fielder's choice, but he drove in a run. So we now have a runner on first and third. We have to move him over. We have to. We got to move him over somehow, best way we can. So I think what we're going to do is we got one out though. This is a tough decision. Okay, you know what we do?
Ball 4, take your base.
So he walks. Nice. So Vladdy walked. So Charlie Hayes now coming up with the bases loaded. I was trying to go for the sac fly, and Vladdy was too patient. So now Hayes is at the plate, and we have a righty on the hill. Do we have a lefty to pinch hit? We don't have any left-handed bats. That's a bummer. We got to go out and get a left-handed bat for the bullpen. I'm sorry, for the bench. We need a left-handed bat for the bench or a switch hitter. I think Tim Raines is a switch hitter, but he is. Yeah, there he is, a switch hitter. But I already used him. But he's coming up next. So let's see if we can't get something here. Charlie Hayes, can you sac fly? No. Swing. And he hits a grand slam. All that thinking, and fucking Charlie Hayes hits a grand slam, and this game is freaking tied. Veras walked. Cabrera walked. Grace reaches on an error. Ken Griffey Jr. does what Ken Griffey Jr. does and hits into a fielder's choice. Vladdy walks after we were trying to get him to hit a sac fly, and Charlie freaking Hayes hits a grand slam in the top of the ninth to tie the game, and there's one out. Tim Raines coming to the plate. Radinsky gets him. Pudge is going to ground out. So we now have to go. We got to go to the bullpen. Okay, we've got righty, lefty. So we're going to go to Eric Gagne to try to hold this thing down. Eric Gagnon, as the guy says. That must be, I don't know, must be a Boston thing. Garcia Parra flies out. Travis Fryman strikes out. Dave Martinez. Okay, so Gagne gets us through the bottom of the ninth. We are heading to the top of the 10th. Bobby Hens, can you be the hero that we know you are? It's kind of like that Batman thing. I don't know. Something about being the hero and that we want but we don't need right now. But we need him now. Let's go, Bobby Hens. One press of the button, and he singles. That's what we need, Bobby. That's what we need. Let's bunt him over. Good job from Kilvio Veras. We want to put the ball in Trevor Hoffman's hands. That's all we want to do, right? Strikeout from Cabrera. Grace, you've been a little down, okay, but you're amazing. You're an amazing Grace. Let's go ahead. And he grounds out. Yeah, that was dumb. That was a stupid ass dad joke right there. Okay. Tom Lampkin leading off. Gagne's going to stay out there. He gets the pop out. Bragg hits a solo home run, and this game is over. Son of a goddamn bitch. So the team actually played well enough. We had 5 runs on 3 hits. We scored 5 runs in the top of the ninth and tried to claw our way into this thing. And you know what? Kudos to Charlie Hayes on the grand slam. Gagne comes in, tries to pitch, gives up the jack, and it is what it is. We deserve that shit. We deserve that shit. Okay, so we lose 2 out of 3 in Boston, but all close games. 4-1, we had the victory. 3-2 loss and a 6-5 loss. So a couple of 1-run losses, but it is what it is. Now we have a tough series coming up. We got Cincinnati. We got Kenny Rogers, David Wells, and Mike Mussina. Cincinnati, the defending National League champions, are 42-24 heading into this series. They have Juan Guzman, Jose Lima, and Tim Worrell going to be on the hill for them. 3 of their best pitchers. It looks like Jose Lima has the best current record. So we're going to quick sim through this because it's not a Sunday game. The next Sunday game is the Mets game. So let's see what Kenny Rogers can do. And we take a loss. So it was Trevor Hoffman with the loss again. Dude, Trevor Hoffman has 4 losses. Okay. There's got to be something that shows us what happened. Trevor Hoffman came in and gave up 2 earned runs. Yeah. Yes, he did. Was it a home run? I don't know. It doesn't show. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't show. But you know what? Freaking Trevor Hoffman, man. Blows another save. He blows another save. Wow. Okay. So we have game 2 against Cincinnati, and Boomer's going to be on the hill, and we get the win. So Boomer. No, Scott Shields. It ends up being Scott Shields, our Rule 5 draftee. And let's go. Cincinnati, game 3. Mike Mussina, he's been the hottest pitcher in the majors. He's out there on the hill for this one. And we get the loss. So, again, we lose. We lose a series to Cincinnati. So that's not a shock. I mean, they're good, right? But the Expos are 40-27. We're still over 500, which is important. Let's take a jump back here and take a look at the current standings. So we are 4.5 games behind the Expos. We continue to drop there. The Marlins have also started to kind of falter a bit too, so they're 7 games back. The Mets are toast. I think they're pretty much toast. And the Phillies, well, I think they're just they're in a rebuilding mode. They're going to be in a rebuilding mode. Take a look at the wild card. That's important for us. We are still in wild card mode. So I know it's early. We've only played 67 games. We're not even to the halfway point of the season. But I'm trying to get to the playoffs. That's the whole, point of this exercise. So, okay. We get a day off on the 10th of June. Now we head into the 11th of June. We're taking on the Mets. We are in New York. So don't go out there and party too hard, guys. Trey Moore is going to be on the hill. He's taking on Arturo Torrero in game 1. Game 2, we'll see Javi back on the bump. He'll take on Al Leiter. Loved Al Leiter. Al Leiter's a character. Awesome player. And Kenny Rogers will take on Ruben Schreiber in game number 3. We'll be watching that one. That's Sunday Night Baseball with the Expos. And we get the loss. So we lose. Trey Moore gets his 4th loss of the year. So since we brought him up, right, I was watching, I think, an episode or 2 ago, and I was talking so highly about my boy Trey Moore. And not to knock him down, but he did injure his neck in this last week or 2 here of the season. But struggle. Look at all the 1-run losses we have, right? That's crazy. Look at the board. I mean, we lost one against Boston 3-2. We lost to Boston 6-5. We lost to Cincinnati 5-4. We lost to the Mets 6-5. So I'm blaming Trevor Hoffman. Not the real Trevor Hoffman. You're a cool guy. But our virtual Trevor Hoffman is not pitching well. He is not pitching well. Okay, game 2, Vasquez Leiter, and we get the win. Okay, so that's a 3-1 victory. We're heading into game 3, the Sunday night game. And lovely. So we get to see Pop's Club. Hopefully we get to jump into the game, right? So we get to see what Shea Stadium looks like here on the Explanation show. Kenny Rogers will be on the hill. He's 0-0 with a 1.48 ERA. The entire team is basically cold. I don't know what to do about that. There's no one to put in to help them. I have no one to help them. What am I going to do? So we're just going to go with it.
Play ball.
Let's roll with it. Let's see if we can't get something going. Kilvio grounds out. Cabrera strikes out. Grace walks. So I think we're going to do something a little bit different here against the Mets. I think we're going to play more small ball. So if we get anybody on base and we have less than 2 outs, obviously, then we're going to bunt. We're going to be moving runners over. We need to create some runs. We need to manufacture runs, as they used to say. I don't know if they used to say that. They probably still say that shit. I don't watch too much baseball anymore. But we need to manufacture some runs. So, okay, let's go ahead, and Griffey flies out. So that's not manufacturing a goddamn thing. They need to manufacture some bats that he can actually hit with. Yeah, we definitely need to do that. Good old Griffey, and I'm always talking smack on virtual Ken Griffey here. Okay, so we've got Kenny Rogers out on the hill. He's facing Marquise Grissom.
Take your base. Ball 4.
He walks him. That's great because Marquise has speed.
He's safe.
And he tried to pick him off, and we didn't get him. Jeffrey Hammonds. Thank you, Jeffrey. Double play. Jose Valentin. Ground out. Vlad Guerrero coming to the plate, and he flies out. Hayes singles. So Hayes is actually he's been swinging a hot bat. He hit that grand slam that tied up that game against Boston, and we ended up, was it Boston? Cincinnati. I don't know. Against somebody, we ended up losing the game.
3.
Chu's going to strike out. Bobby Hens strikes out. Why is Bob Henley in the game? I don't even know why. B.J. Surhoff grounds out. Valentin grounds out. Franco
3.
is going to strike out. So, speaking of B.J. Surhoff, I saw this really cool YouTube video the other day. So it was talking about baseball players who have like glitches. And that was it. And there was a guy who used to be the catcher for the Mets, and he had this thing where he like literally couldn't throw back to the pitcher. He couldn't throw back to the pitcher. His name was Mackie Sasser, and he ended up like playing a little outfield and stuff like that. A really good hitter, and he could throw from the outfield. He could throw to first base. I don't know if he got in a collision or something, but something, it just kind of psychologically he couldn't do it. You watch him and they show videos of him, and it's like this little glitch. It's crazy. Mackie Sasser was his name. Check it out. Now I just saw B.J. Surhoff hit, and that has nothing to do with B.J. Surhoff, but the Mackie Sasser thing, that's a fact. That's a true story. It was actually on this little cool thing I saw about like certain players who lost it over time, and there was one guy who like had an issue with his eyes because they were too blue and he had too much light on day games. I don't know if that was a made up thing, but yeah, look it up. Check it out. Okay, Ruben Schreiber against Kenny Rogers. Kenny grounds out. Vera singles. Good for you, Kilvio.
3.
Cabrera strikes out. Gray singles.
3.
Griffey strikes out. So offensively, the team is just been trash in the episode. Todd Pratt, I remember him. He singles. Milliard double play. Schreiber lines out. So we get some help from the Mets. Thank you, Mets. Right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Mets. Yeah, we would say that when we beat a team in Little League. That's not right, but we would do it. Vladdy doubles.
Ball 4.
Hayes walks. Sung Hyun Chu singles. And the Expos scored a run. Thank you very much. Bobby Hens fielder's choice. Kenny Rogers singles and drives in a freaking run. Wow. Kenny Rogers drove in a run. And you know what?
You're out.
He got a little too greedy. He tried to steal second base. No, I did that. I had to see if he could do it. Okay, Marquise Grissom. Now it's 2-0. Rogers gets the ground out. Hammonds is going to walk. Valentin hits into a double play, so the Mets keep helping us out. Ruben Schreiber against Orlando Cabrera. Ground out. Grace walks. Griffey strikes out. Vladdy doubles and drives in Mark Grace, so it's 3-0. Hayes doubles. Tough Waddell. It's Turk Wendell, and that guy there's another character, dude. Turk Wendell was a character. Check that dude out. I think he once made he didn't like round numbers or something, so his contract, instead of being like $1 million, was like $999. I'm sorry, $999,999 $8.99. I don't know. Check that shit out. That's fact too. I'm pretty sure it was him. He was the puka shell guy, and he gets to fly out. B.J. Surhoff at the plate. Kenny Rogers still out there, and he's roasting. Ground out. Valentin, ground out. Franco, single. Todd Pratt, fly out. So Kenny Rogers has pitched 5, and he's thrown pretty well. Henley's going to ground out. Rogers is going to single. Fucking Kenny Rogers has got a bat, and I'm sorry I just dropped the F-bomb right here on my channel, but damn, Kenny Rogers has got a bat. Kilvio's going to walk. Cabrera flies out. Mark Grace strikes out. So we are up 4-0, and he hits Milliard. Xavier Berger, double play. So the Mets have grounded into more double plays in this one. I am so happy. Grissom singles. Hammond strikes out. Griffey Jr. flies out. Guerrero grounds out. Charlie Hayes is going to, ground out. Valentin singles. Surhoff double play. Another double play. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mets. Valentin singles. Franco grounds out. So we are now through 7. Jeff Watson is on the hill for the Mets. Sung Yoon at the plate. He walks. He gets caught stealing. Henley singles, because of course he does. Kenny Rogers, we're going to pinch hit for him. We're going to go to Jamie Carroll in this situation. He strikes out. Veras. Okay, so time to take Jamie Carroll out. We've got, let's see, righty-righty switch, righty-righty. So we go with a righty. We're going to go to Jeff Nelson out of the pen. Well, we should have gone with Embry, but we'll go to Nelson. He gets to fly out. He gets to ground out. Edgardo Alfonso, and he grounds out. Okay, so we got a 4-0 game, top of the 9th. Cabrera flies out. Grace grounds out. Ken Griffey Jr., he's 0 for 4, and he's 0 for 5. Ken Griffey Jr. is 0 for 5. I can't believe that I'm going to say this, but if you are a viewer of the show and you watched the night that I signed Ken Griffey Jr., I was one of the happiest people. But I have to be honest with you, he has not been the best thing to happen to this club. So I'm thinking we might put him on the block, man. You know, we could probably get a couple of pieces for Ken Griffey Jr. We could probably get somebody for the, to be on the bench, and maybe even a pitcher or 2, maybe some prospects. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm all for it. Throw a comment up on the board, throw it in the chat, throw it in the bottom of the chat, throw it in the trash. I don't care what you do with it, but give me a comment. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on what we can do with Ken Griffey Jr. here, because he is just not performing. Grissom is coming to the plate. We have a 4-run lead, so we're going to hold on to Trevor. We're going to leave Jeff Nelson out there. He gets Grissom. He walks Hammonds. So we'll let him pitch one more, and he gets the double play because it's the Mets, and that's what they do. They grounded double plays. Okay, Kenny Rogers is your player of the game. Dude was down in the minor leagues. Comes up, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Great job from Kenny Rogers on Sunday Night Baseball. Okay, Jeremy Powell no longer injured. Good for him. So we've got 4 coming up with Florida. They're 38 and 33, and they have beat us when we play them here on the channel. So we shall see. Florida, game 1 is David Boomer Wells. He'll be taking on Kenna. 19 innings pitched, 11 Ks for Kenna. Frankie Calderon will see Mike Mussina in game 2. Brian Meadows will take on Trey Moore in game 3. And Levon Hernandez will see Javi Vasquez in game 4. So that's going to be the key game. All right. So we've got Boomer, Moose, Trey, and Javi right in a row. Let's see if we can continue. Right now in the episode, we have, let's go back here, 1, 2, we have 8 wins and 6 losses, 7 losses. 6 losses, yeah. So not too bad. We continue to stay above 500, which is exactly what we want, right? We don't want to be treading water. We've got our head above water right now, so we definitely want to stay where we are. David Boomer Wells on the hill. We get the win. Was it Boomer? No, Trevor. How did Trevor get the freaking win? I don't know how he keeps doing that. Mike Mussina going for his 10th win of the season and a possible, I think he could be an all-star. He could be on the all-star team if he can get the win here, and he gets the loss. Oh, Mike Mussina goes to 9-4. So ever since I talked about his, how he's been on a streak, he's been losing. So, okay, Florida in game 3, Trey Moore, and we lose again. Florida has been good against this club. Trey Moore actually took that loss. So he's 3-5. Javi Vasquez, 7-2 on the season against Levon Hernandez. And we lose 13 to freaking 5. Holy garbage. Holy garbage. So the Marlins are 41-34. We're 43-31. I got to see where that puts them. So they're 10 games back of the freaking Braves. We are 7.5 games back of the Braves. But they're hanging around, man. Them Marlins are hanging around. Okay. No, I don't want to exit. That was dumb. That was pretty dumb. Okay, sorry. Getting back to it. We're making our way through this. Kenny Rogers, who roasted the Mets on the 13th of June, 4-0 on Sunday Night Baseball. He's going to be taking on Darren Dreifert and the Phillies, followed by Boomer taking on Kevin Palacios. And in Sunday Night Baseball, we'll see the Moose against Matty Beach. And we go with Kenny Rogers. And, okay, so Terry Jones is eligible to be reinstated, but they will still be injured for a few days. What would you like to do? I will auto it. I don't know what that means. Maybe he comes back in the lineup. That'd be great. He'll be on the bench. We could use some bench help. So Kenny Rogers gets some run support. Let's see what we did in that game. Let's see who did what. Kilvio was 2 for 4. Sung Hyun Chu was 2 for 4. Everyone in the lineup was hitting except for Kenny Rogers. Tim Raines had a double. Griffey had a double. Griffey had an RBI. No home runs. Kilvio had 2 stolen bases. Kenny went 8 innings, 7 hits, 5 Ks. Yeah, okay, so that was a pretty good game. Pretty good game. Okay, so game 2 is Boomer, and we take a... Oh my God, I thought that's at 17-1. So we take a 7-1 loss. Nothing really happening there. We're heading into game 3 of the series. It's Sunday night. That means we take on the Phillies here on Sunday Night Baseball. Let's go ahead and see what happens in this one. Quick manage. And I don't know if the Phillies were actually any good around this time. Can't really remember. But we shall see. We shall see. So if you are just popping into the show or you're watching me on the replay, welcome on in. We are just about through the games portion of the episode. The team has been playing halfway decent. I mean, not the greatest. We had some crazy injury-ass shit happen early in the episode. We lost Bartolo Colon. We lost John Rocker. Trey Moore had a neck injury, but Trey Moore's neck injury was like nothing. It's like he just slept wrong on his pillows, and he was fine the next day. Unfortunately, Bartolo Colon, on the other hand, and our boy John Rocker, well, John Rocker's out for 2 months, and Bartolo's out for the season, right? So they are all sitting in a hospital bed, in a hospital room somewhere with Ricky Henderson, and shit just ain't happening for those guys. They're toast. We had to go out and get a new setup man, so we got ourselves a little Alan Embry. Went out and made a trade, got rid of Mike Thurman. So that didn't really hurt the club. Traded him to Baltimore and went out and got Alan Embry. So he's been our setup guy. We haven't really needed him a whole lot because we haven't really been winning when we do slow sims here, or we quick sim, whatever you want to call it. But Sunday night baseballs, and so we haven't really seen a whole lot of him. Got to see a little live baseball. Had a chance with bases juiced in the middle of a game. Griffey came to the plate, struck out, and then we watched the next guy strike out, and yeah, just not exciting, not super exciting. Mike Mussina is going to be on the hill in this one. He's 9-4 on the season, 2.57 ERA, and the lineup will remain the same. Let's go ahead and see where. Oh, Terry Jones, there he is. So we got another switch hitter, another outfielder and a switch hitter. So Terry Jones, I kind of forgot about him. So there's your bench guy. Why is Pudge is cold? Pudge is cold because Bob Henley is so much better. You know what? Actually, we're gonna do this right now because. Did it freeze on me? No, it didn't. So I'm going back out. And before we had, actually, you know what? No, we'll go with it. You know what? We'll go with it. That's just my indecisive nature, I guess. So before we head to the West Coast for the Dodgers and the Padres, we're going to bring Paul LaDuca up. And I think we're going to send Bobby Henley down because that catcher situation with Pudge being cold and Bob Henley kind of getting going from time to time, that's not working. But Paul LaDuca has been playing pretty good down in the minors, and we might be able to bring him up. We'd have to put Bob Henley on waivers, but that's the risk we have to take, right? We need someone else that can come off the bench and get some shit done, and he just hasn't been doing it. Now, if he does something here in this game, great, but Doug Glanville to lead off. Moose strikes him out. Relaford strikes out. Abreu singles. So there goes the no-hitter. And Matty Beach is on the hill. Veras grounds out. Cabrera flies out. Grace doubles. Griffey hits a 2-run jack, and it's 2-0 in the first. Thank you very much. Give our boy some support.
That hit him.
Guerrero gets hit by a pitch. Then he gets caught stealing. Mussina gives up a double to John Zuba. Johnny Zubes with the double. Bobby Estrella flies out. Anderson sack bunt. Brad Ausmus is going to, I don't know what he did. I didn't quite see it. Okay, Hayes singles. Sung Hyun bunts him over. Bobby Hens strikes out. Moose strikes out. See, Bobby Hens, man, I'm telling you. You know, he's one of my favorites because he was one of the originals, but, God, I set him down. Beach strikes out. Glanville singles. Try to pick him off. Relaford singles. Try to pick him off. Oh, we must have caught him at second base. Frickin' Vladdy. Kilvio Veras strikes out. Cabrera flies out. Grace grounds out. Jeff Kent. Did Jeff Kent get in the Hall of Fame? I don't know, and I don't feel like Googling it right now. But if you're watching, if you're my one person that's actually watching, throw it on a comment. I'm not really sure. I didn't see if he did. Moose grounds out. John Zuba, the Zoobs, pops out. Estrella grounds out. Ken Griffey Jr. against Matt Beach. He walks. He steals second. We tried to bunt him, and Guerrero just singled. Great. So I go for the bunt. He singles. Hayes bunts them both over. Sung Hyun doubles them both in. Thank you, Sung Hyun. Bobby Henley, maybe he saw something and is like, shit, is that how you do it? And he does. He drives in a run. Big time. Mike Mussina now is going to sack him over. I did not make him do that. And there's a single. So we are just ripping the Phillies up. Cabrera now with 2 outs. Hits a single. We got first and second. Drove in another run. Mark Grace singles in another run. It's 7-0. And we are seeing an offensive explosion. Griffey Jr. is going to strike out to end it. And no, he flies out. But, you know, anything. He couldn't give me anything. Moose singles. No, I'm sorry. Moose gives up a single. Ausmus fielder's choice. Sack bunt for Jamie Wright. Glanville singles in a run. Relaford pops up. Guerrero, error. Then gets caught stealing. Hayes grounds out. Chew. I don't know what he did. Bobby Abreu strikes out. Jeff Kent grounds out. Johnny Zoobs, my man, grounds out. Bob Henley, 1 for 2. He singles. So I talk shit about the guy. Now he's got 2 hits in this one. Moose fielder's choice. Veras single. Cabrera fly out. Mark Grace with a chance to get another hit. He walks bases juice for Ken Griffey Jr. And he hits a grand freaking slam. It's 11-1, baby. I have not seen this much offensive output from this club since we started playing this damn game. The manager, the GM, we sit here, we talk so much shit on these guys, and now look what they're doing. They're putting up some runs. Sure, it's against the Phillies, who are not even close to good on this game, but whatever. Maybe it'll build up some goddamn confidence in the club. Vladdy grounds out. Bobby Estalella singles. Anderson, fielder's choice. Brad Osmus, fielder's choice. Carlton Lower. Nope, Gary Bennett comes up, and he strikes out. So do we leave? Wait a minute. What did I just miss? Was that, were we up that whole time? Yeah, I don't know. I fell asleep. No, I'm just kidding. I had no idea what was going on there. Hayes grounds out. Chew flies out. Henley. Oh, the screen. Okay, the screen was flipped. I don't know. It just messed with my head. It just messed with my head. Whatever. Okay, let's get back here. Mike Mussina, still out there on the hill. Still got some juice. Glanville grounds out. Desi Relaford grounds out. Bobby Abreu reaches on an error. We try to pick him off. Jeff Kent reaches on an error. That's back-to-back errors. Johnny Zoobs ground out. Okay. So we are an hour 48 into the episode. The team's not doing too bad. Moose is going to go for the complete game. I think we're going to let Moose go for the complete game. We got an 11-1 lead. Even though our freaking bullpen, our freaking pitching staff has been getting injured all the time. So you know what? We're going to pinch hit. We're going to bring in Wayne Gomes. Hold on a second. Wayne Gomes is a righty, so do we have a lefty? No, but we got Tim Raines. So Tim Raines is going to come in a pinch hit, get a little swing, and he grounds out. Veras hits a solo jack. It's 12-1. Fly out for Cabrera. Gray singles. Griffey singles. What the shit? Why are they wasting this until now? Hold on to some of that stuff, man. Put it in your pocket. Vladdy. And yes, we got another run. So we're up. That's 13 runs in the game. That's like the hottest this team has ever been in an episode. We're going to go to, Mike Maddox. He's going to get a chance to pitch. He walks the first batter he faces. Gets a fly out. Gives up a single. Larry Sutton coming in to pinch hit. Reaches on an error. Mike Maddox, dude. Come on. Mike. Look, I gave you an opportunity here. Okay, I'm giving you an opportunity here, buddy. Do not blow this, my friend. Do not blow your opportunity here. Okay? Let's go ahead. No. We're gonna walk the batter. Get the pop out. He gives up a single. Mike Maddox has given up 3 runs in the goddamn inning. A strikeout. Okay, we got to package Mike Maddox in a deal. This dude has to go. Okay, but we get the win. Okay, and we're going to speed run through the last 6 games of the episode anyway, because we're just about done. So, for my one viewer out there, thanks for hanging in there. Just kidding. Here's where we are right now. So we're 45-32. Let's take a bump back. We'll take a look at the current standings. The Braves are 53-25. We're 7.5 games behind them. In our last 10, we're 5-5. No bueno. This episode has been a complete and utter tragedy. Okay. We had a minor injury to Trey Moore. That didn't hurt us too bad. He was back in biz. Then we had in the first game of the episode, it was like a freight train ran through the Montreal Expos general manager's office. We lost Bartolo Colon for 6 months in about the fourth inning of that game, maybe the fifth inning. And then we lost John Rocker for 2 months, and not good. So when we lost our newest left-handed setup man, we went out and got Alan Embry in a trade, which didn't really hurt us. Mike Thurman, blah, blah, blah. See you later. Bye-bye. Wave goodbye. And now we are where we are. So pitching actually, on the right side, you can see in the box there, pitching actually improved, which is weird. When we lost both of those guys, I'm not sure how that works. Unfortunately, it hasn't really shown so far. Kenny Rogers hasn't been bad, but actually he's been the best showing of the episode, really, if you kind of think about it. But anyway, that's just me ranting. So we are in second place. We're 45-32, and we'll take a look at where we are in the full standings when we get through the Padre game on the 27th. So we've got the Dodgers. Trey Moore will have Ishmael Valdez. Javier Vasquez will take on Kevin Tapani. And, of course, Kenny Rogers against Chan Ho Park. And then we head to San Diego. So 21st is a travel day. 22nd, we're in L.A. Chavez Ravine Dodger Stadium. Trey Moore gets the win, and that's his fourth of the season. Javi Vasquez against Kevin Tapani. We get another win. Terry Jones is injured again because, of course, he is. All right, Javi 8-3 on the season. Beats Kevin Tapani. Kenny Rogers looking for his third win of the year. Look at that ERA, 0.92. He's been pitching very good since we brought him up. And he takes the loss because, of course, he does. Every time I say that, I jinx the shit out of these guys. Okay, so game one of the weekend series with the Padres. Now, that West, the NL West is not very good record-wise in this 2000 universe. The Padres are 32-48, and they will have Matt Clement against Boomer, then Danny Bush against the Moose, and then we'll close out the weekend with Trey Moore. And, I didn't see who they had. Dominic Farrell. Yeah, I don't know who that is. So some of these guys aren't even real anymore. We've gotten to that point in the roster where changes have been made, and just kind of is what it is. So Boomer on Friday the 25th of June. Happy birthday. Yeah, that's an actual birthday in the household here. So Kilvio Veras, oh no. So he's out for a few days. Well, sorry, Kilvio's going to go to the 10-day. So we actually 10-1 is the win. So David Wells gets his sixth win of the season. But we got to go take a look now. See, every time that happens, shit always happens. Kilvio Veras is now on the injured list, right? Yeah, he'll be out 1 to 6 days. So let's go to second baseman. Kilvio's out. Tomas, are you on the 40-man roster? I don't think he is. There's Kilvio. Okay, we're going to have to rely on Jamie Carroll. Yes, we are. Jamie Carroll. Oh, no, not Terry Jones. Jamie Carroll, the Rook. He's going to go. Well, that's with a DH. I don't really need to worry about that because we're playing the Padres, right? So it's pitching. We don't need a DH. So, no, Mark Grace will stay there. Okay, stop doing that. No DH, Mike. Jiminy Christmas. Jamie Carroll. Okay. We could have put Mike Mordecai, but I'm going to go with Jamie Carroll. Yeah, he's going to get to play. He's going to get to play. All right. So that's going to hurt us for a little bit. We lose Kilvio, but that's all right. That's okay. Welcome to the lineup, Jamie Carroll. So Mike Messina's on the hill here against Danny Bush. If you know, you know. Okay. Perfect. And I got to fix the damn lineups. Because that's stupid DH shit. Okay. And we lose. God damn it. Messina loses again. Yeah, so that's his 5th loss of the season. Okay, last game of the episode. We're taking on the Padres. At Qualcomm Stadium. Yeah, somebody built that one too. That's pretty cool. Maybe we'll get to see that one in action too. Trey Moore's on the hill. He's been struggling as of late. Take a look at his recent games. He had to win against the Dodgers just the other night. So the West Coast hasn't been bad for him, but he lost to Florida, only threw 4 1/3. Lost to the Mets, only threw 3 innings. Boston, he only threw 4 1/3. Got hurt against the Dodgers, so I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Hopefully he gets a little something going here. In this one, we'll see a little bit of Jamie Carroll action. Cabrera is going to lead off against Jason Middlebrook. He singles. Jamie Carroll bunts him over. Grace flies out. Griffey grounds out. Freddie Reyes to lead off for the Pods. He doubles.
He's safe.
Try to pick him off. And a 2-run home run for Luis Ordaz. So it's 2-0. Trey Moore continues to struggle. How about Mark Grudzielanek? Mark Grudzielanek batting .285 with 10 homers and 29 RBIs. Comfortable in San Diego. It must be the weather after he left the Padres in free agency. Ground out. Husky ground out. Stinnett singles. Ruben Rivera grounds out. I recognize a couple of these names. A couple of these guys we almost got. We almost got. Vladdy singles. Sung Hyun walks. So we got first and second for Charlie Big Game Hayes. He grounds into a double play. Pudge grounds out. Jonathan Slade. John Slade. Yeah, I think that's it. Hold on a second. What's that reference from? I think that's from Psych. I think it's from Psych. No. No. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. I did just TV shit, right? Popped into my head. I'm talking to myself, folks. Yeah, it is. No, it really is. That's from the TV show. That's from the TV show. Okay. Okay, let's get back to it. All right, Jonathan Slade at the plate. We get him to fly out. Arias grounds out. Middlebrook strikes out. Trey Moore, help yourself out. He grounds out. Cabrera
Take your base. Ball 4.
walks. Jamie Carroll does his job, bunts him over. Grace drives him in with a single, so it's 2-1, and we get the pop out. So, yeah, I mean, Jamie Carroll, you're in there, you're in there because you're filling in for an injury, so do your job. I told you to bunt, and you bunted. Good job. Freddie strikes out. Luis grounds out. Mark Grudzielanek, Grudzy himself, former Expo, grounds out. Vladdy flies out. Sung Hyun strikes out. Hayes ground out. Husky out. Sinet out. Rivera double. Slade out. Jason Middlebrook against Pudge. There's a strikeout. There's a ground out. There's another ground out. Arias hits a home run. Middlebrook, and they go to Lee Kuo. Lee Kuo's going to pinch hit.
Ball 4. Take your base.
And he walks Freddie Reyes. 5 nights at Freddie Reyes. Luis Ordaz singles. So we got first and second. It's 4-1. Grudzy, fielder's choice. Husky, fielder's choice. Stinnett hits a 3-run jack, and that's going to do it for Trey. He's coming out in the bottom of the 5th. And we go right. We're going to go with Scott Shields. And he gets the ground out. So he's going to end the inning. Jamie Carroll, we need a freaking miracle. Strikeout, Grace. Ground out, Griffey. Ground out. Scott Shields is going to stay out there. We got all righties. Look at the freaking Padres lineup. They're all right-handed batters. How did I not realize that? I'm just seeing that. Double for Slade. Fly out for Arias. Spezio coming to the plate. He walks Freddie Reyes. Pops out. Ordaz is going to strike out. Okay. So top of the 7th, Spezio. I'm sorry. He's not going to pitch. No. Will Cunane. Cunane. Yeah. Anyway. Guerrero. Ground out. Chu. Single. Hayes. Single. Rodriguez. Double. So we get a couple of runs here. It's 7-3. Scott Shields. We're going to pinch hit for him. We're going to go to... We got to save our righties. So we'll go to Jones. Jones is going to come in a pinch hit. He grounds out. Cabrera singles. First and second, 2 outs. Carroll, and he strikes out. Yeah, I could have seen that coming. We go bottom 7. We're going to go to Jeff Nelson. Grudzielanek grounds out. Husky ground out. Sinet strikes out. Okay, good job from Nelson. Steve Reed still out on the hill against Mark Grace. Gets the K. Ken Griffey Jr. singles. Guerrero, fielder's choice. Chu, a single. So we got first and second now. Hayes is going to hit into a fielder's choice. So we are through 7.5. Nelson's going to stay out there to pitch. He's got Rivera. He gets him to pop out. Slade is going to fly out. Arias grounds out. So Pudge, Rodriguez to lead off the top of the 9th. We need something huge here. 4 runs would be great. CJ Nikowski is going to come in here to try to shut things down. He gets Rodriguez. We'll pinch hit. We'll bring in Tim Raines. He grounds out. And Cabrera singles. So Cabrera tries to keep this thing alive, but I think it's pretty much toast. Jamie Carroll, fielder's choice. So that's going to do it for the final game of the episode. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and count to see how we did, but we'll take a look here at the standings. Okay. So here we are rocking and rolling. We're through the month of June pretty much. We'll kind of play maybe the last day or two in the next episode. But through this one, we are 48-35. We've fallen to 9 games behind the Braves. And I don't think it's so much that we're falling as they're just playing good. They're just playing winning baseball, and we're not. So that just kind of shows you. Um, oh, my bad. Yeah, so we're at 48 and 35. They're at 58 and 27. So the team's not playing awful. We're .578 percentage, so we're above 500, which is exactly where we want to be, where we need to be. So let's go ahead and take a look at the National League East standings. As you know, we're in second place. The Marlins are 3.5 games behind us, and they gave us a nice little ass whooping in this episode. We did not knock off the Mets and the Phils, so we didn't see the Braves in the episode, and we know what they can do to us. Currently, we've lost 2 in a row. We were 5-5 over our last 10, and you see the rest. Yeah, we're a good team at night. We need to play all our games at night for sure. In the Central, the Cardinals still hold that lead over the Reds, same as they did to start the episode. The West looks a little bit different than it did. The Dodgers are starting to climb out of their funk. They're 40 and 44 with just a half game lead. So a losing record and a lead in a division. That's just crazy. That's kind of unheard of, right? I mean, usually one team has a freaking good record. One team usually has a good record. But it is what it is what it is. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. Wild card looks like this: the Reds, Cubs, and Expos. Yeah, we're in as of right now. So, if the playoffs started today, I believe we'd have a wild card spot. So good for us. Good for us. Yeah, for certain. Out in the American League, the Yankees have a 6-game lead on the Red Sox, 9.5 on the Orioles. In the Central, it's the White Sox with a 1.5 on the Cleveland Indians and a 2-game lead on the Minnesota Twins. So that Central continues to be a battle, right? They just go back and forth all year. Same with the NL Central. Those Central teams, it's always a close race. And out west, the Rangers have started to pull away. So I did mention in the beginning of the episode that the West is kind of the Wild West and things go crazy out there. We've seen division champions from the Brew Crew and the Mariners in the series so far. So anything is possible. And the American League wild card is basically the American League East with the Sox and Orioles leading in the wild card. The Blue Jays not far behind with the Mariners and the Rays, who both have losing records. So a lot's going to change here soon. So we kind of look one more time at our record. We're 9 games behind the Braves. I'm not concerned with the division. I want the wild card. Okay, let's take a look at some stats. We'll take a look at our league leaders, and then we'll roll out for the evening. We'll close it all out and head out. So we're just going to look at the National League since that's all that really matters to us since we are in the National League. And batting average right now, Edgar Martinez. We do have an Expo right here. Mark Grace is currently third with a .330 batting average. Hits, we've got Mark Grace. He's fourth with 102. Currently, Edgar leads the league. At bats, that's not really relevant, but Ray Durham does lead the league with 349. Doubles, Tony Womack with 27. How about Kilvio Veras currently in fourth place? Expo with 23. The Reds are a freaking machine. Look at that. Womack, Martinez, Sheffield. Combined, that's, I don't even know, 79 doubles for those 3 guys. That's pretty crazy. Triples, how about Felipe Marquez of the Marlins? Cabrera in a tie for third with 4. So Orlando Cabrera, Kilvio Veras, that second, third combo, they're doing not too bad. I saw Greg Jeffries of the Astros with 4 triples. Dude still got some speed, I guess. He must have been pretty old in this universe. I'm not really sure. Probably close to like 35, 36. Sammy Sosa is your home run leader, 24 dingus. Edgar Martinez, and we have no Expos. I mean, Mark Grace. And he's in a tie for 11th with 14. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Ken Griffey Jr., dude. Pay attention. He's got 17, and he's in 6th. A tie for 6th. So good for him. RBIs, we do have Mark Grace, currently in a tie for 4th with 56. Ken Griffey, 51. Vlad Guerrero, 49. So the middle of the lineup, not doing too bad statistically. Sammy Sosa does lead the league with 62 runs. Chipper Jones, Kilvio is 4th with 53. Stolen bases, Tony Womack, 22. We would have been close if Ricky had stayed healthy. Man, I can't stop talking about Ricky. Base on balls, Edgar Martinez leads the league with 54. Mark Grace with 49. On base percentage, Edgar Martinez, followed by Mark Grace. Mark Grace in second place. Good for him. Slugging, OPS, wins. Here's the pitching stuff. Wins. Mike Mussina in a tie for first with 10 wins. Brian Meadow, losses. Nobody wants to talk about who leads in losses. I think it's the least amount of losses, but Chad Adams is your saves guy with 31 saves to this point in the season. Chad frickin' Adams. Robbie Nen with 27 for the Pirates, and Trevor Hoffman with 23. So not exactly what we expected from him, but ERA is Jeremy Gonzalez. Home runs allowed. Shutouts. Rick Reed with 2. Mike Mussina with 2. Okay. Strikeouts. This is what everyone wants to see. Kerry Wood, 140 Ks. He has a 34 strikeout lead on the man in second place. Complete games, Rick Reed. Innings pitched. Okay, so I think we've seen enough of that. The other thing we'll take a look at is right here. So we're going to close out with the injured list, and we're going to talk about what we might need to do going forward. So Kilvio, he's out for another 8 days. So I don't think that's really going to hurt us. Obviously, we'll be missing the bat for a little bit, but that is what it is in the next episode. Okay, but here is the killer. This is the killer. Ricky Henderson gone. 5 to 6 months. So we won't see Ricky again. We'll never see Ricky in an Expo uniform. He was signed to a 1-year deal, and he'll be out. We will not be re-signing him at 41 years of age. He'll be playing A-ball somewhere next year. Bartolo Colon, 6+ months with a torn labrum. Okay. His contract is for 2 years at $35 million. So yes, he will be here next year because we're going to need him in the lineup. We're going to need some pitching. So he'll be staying. John Rocker, his contract is 2 years of $6 million. We just traded for him. So he'll be back in his spot this year. So we should have John Rocker back in 30 days. Right? Yeah, there's nothing we can do with them. We can activate Ricky, but he's got a torn ACL, so I don't think we can really do that. So that's that. That's where we are injury-wise. So, okay. So going into the next episode, we're going to be playing through the month of July. Let's take a look at who we have in the next episode. We've got Detroit. We've got the Cubbies. We've got the St. Louis Cardinals. The Tampa Bay Rays. We'll see the Home Run Derby if we have anybody in it. Maybe Ken Griffey Jr., who knows. We will have the All-Star Game. We'll try to see if we can possibly jump in and see a couple of our players. If they make it, then we'll have Cleveland, Colorado, Chicago, and Houston, and that'll close out the month of July. So if you weren't able to join us this week, I'm sorry if you weren't here live. A little quieter. I did it on Monday. Most people are not used to that, but that's typically what I do, Montreal Monday, right? So join me next week. We'll definitely be here next week live at about 6:30, 7 o'clock on the West Coast. Just log in, check the screen. If you see the starting soon screen, that means we'll be starting soon. Wednesday is Whaler Wednesday. We started to get a little action last week. The team started picking it up, so be sure to join us as we continue to follow the Hartford Whalers on their trek, their quest, their journey for a Stanley Cup championship. And hopefully I'll be a happy camper on Wednesday. So looking forward to something coming up for me. So hopefully we'll have some shining news on Wednesday evening. But yeah, so feel free to throw some comments down below. A big like, a big subscribe would be huge. Currently at about 57 subscribers. I would love to try to get myself to 60 subscribers. You got to work. You got to think small to make something big, right? You got to work with something small to make something big. As many likes as possible. For my folks out there, if I have any Connecticut folks who might be checking in, you're watching the end of the video, feel free to join us live for the hockey and, throw some comments on the board. I'd love to hear from you guys. To the Horsemen for life. You guys know who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. If you heard that, throw your comment up on the board. So Wednesday's Whaler Wednesday. Keep an eye open for some recorded videos I'll be dropping soon with some NBA stuff. Been having a lot of fun with NBA 2K26 and really looking forward to throwing together some videos. Being a little creative with that. So, all right, everyone, have a great night, and we will see you next time inside the cave for Montreal Monday.